welcome to History Talk. Today we have Miss Clarke here to talk to us about Elizabeth Cady Stanton.
All right, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Can you tell us a little background information on Elizabeth Cady Stanton?
Absolutely. So Elizabeth Cady Stanton, or Elizabeth Cady before she was married, was born in 1815 in New York, and that's actually where she died as well in 1902. She was born to a Quaker family, which is a very traditional family, so her family wasn't involved in any of the reforms of the 1800s. Except for her, of course. She had one daughter named Harriet, and she was married to a wonderful man named Henry Brewster Stanton, and her family did not approve of him at all.
Where did Stanton get her start in social reform?
Okay, so Stanton was really influential at the Seneca Falls Convention in 1848. Stanton was a big advocate of the women's suffrage rights movement. So she was a big advocate of women's voting, so suffrage. She also helped write the Declaration of Sentiments, which was a book on women's suffrage rights.
What other areas of social reform did she advocate for?
Well, that's funny you should ask, because actually something that a lot of people don't know about her is that during the Civil War, she helped to get 400,000 signatures on a petition that would bring the 13th Amendment into the U.S. Constitution. So she was a big advocate not only of women's rights, but of racial rights as well.
That's very interesting. When did her work with women's suffrage begin?
It didn't really begin, although that time in Seneca Falls was really important, but it didn't really begin until postbellum or after the war. It began in 1868, and she was a huge fan of Frederick Douglass's work, and she was a really good friend to Susan B. Anthony, who was also a women's rights activist. They really worked hard. In 1869, they formed the National Women's Suffrage Association, which was the first association of their kind, and they worked really hard, but the Congress really wasn't into it. They really repressed them, and they wouldn't even listen to their ideas. And actually, the first state to do women's suffrage rights was Wyoming in 1890.
Oh, so if you were to summarize Stanton's greatest gift to society, what would it be?
I think it was just the idea of equality. She really thought that everyone was equal, and she really strove for that.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.